Okay, we're going to sit for about 25 minutes, 30 minutes. So we want to find ourselves a seat, a position that we can hold comfortably for that amount of time. And you can choose to have your eyes open or closed. I will guide as if they're closed today. There's a famous Latin phrase, I guess phrase is the right word, carpe diem, which means seize the day. It's a very dramatic kind of way of thinking about life, conquering the day. Romanticized in Dead Poet Society, if any of you have seen that. But I want you to think about meditation as being the highest expression of that type of idea. We're going to seize the moment, holy as it is. When we seize the day, we can't have anything to do with what's going to happen in 10 years or what happened 10 years ago. It has to be what's in front of you right now. And so we're going to do our simple breath meditation today. Just go through it step by step. But I want you to think about squeezing every last drop of reality out of your experience. So the breath is coming in and out of the body. We're going to notice all the places in the body where it is activating. We'll start with the nose, the nostrils. The first most important instruction here is to not interfere with the experience. Let the breath come in when the breath wants to come in. Let the breath go out when the breath wants to go out. So we just wait for the breath to move. This is an incredible practice because the breath can be an autonomic experience, that is, the body can just do it on its own, or it can be a somatic experience, one that you can control. So you have an opportunity to practice letting go of control. And it's not easy because we are used to controlling what we attend to. We're used to thinking about, figuring out, and fixing what we bring our mental attention to. So the first thing we are dropping here is any intention, any attempt to change the breath. And then we're very interested in, what does the body feel like as it breathes? As a young man, I wanted to travel the world. There were these $1,200 tickets where you could, get an air flight or like 7 stops, although it would take you all the way around the world in a year or something. Never did that, but I traveled a lot. It was a way of seizing the day, seizing my life, right? Of exploring everything and having all the experiences. Well, we're going to do that with our breath. But first, you have to let go of the mind's idea that the breath is boring or that this is normal or that it's, you have to look. What does the sensation of the breath feel like in the nostrils? What is the shape of it? What is the temperature of it? How does it move or pulse or vibrate, contract or expand? To seize the day requires concentration, it requires focus. Otherwise, we will fall into our old habits and live the same day we lived yesterday. That makes sense, right? There is something very active about the carpe diem idea. And so, what's the active part of what we're doing here? The active part is we are turning our attention to fully taste the experience of our breath without controlling it. So, we're giving attention without intention. And the inertia of our habits pulls us once to bring us back into our mind and back into our thoughts, back into our habits to argue or figure out or think about, back into our memories, back into our plans, back into our pains. That's all very normal. But to seize the moment, we must persevere and refocus our attention and wait for the breath to come in, as if we don't know what it's going to feel like. Now we'll move into the sinuses and the back of the mouth area. Some of us may, as we go through the body, have parts of our body that have a lot of emotion or have a lot of physical pain. Um, you are welcome to flow around those parts and just skip to the next part. You're welcome to work with those pains today, or the fear, or the emotion. But remember, all we're doing is feeling what is actually there. Whether you attend to it or not, it's already there. So giving attention without intention. And you can feel the air sort of in the cheeks, sort of behind in the sinuses there, or you can feel it as it goes down back behind the mouth. And we're not meditating on air, we're meditating on the sensations in our body. If you want, you can include the nostrils and the sinuses all in one global experience. You can notice that the sinuses and the back of the mouth already start to move even as the nostrils are moving. It's all one harmonious expansion and contraction. And again, remember to let go of control, wait for the breath. The rhythm of the breath itself has infinite patterns. We think of it as so simple as in and out. But if you start to become familiar with your breath, you'll realize that there are infinite number of ways that it can come in and out. And every day, every moment, it's different. It can be very regular, but it can be very random as well. It can be shallow or deep, fast or slow. It can be thin or thick. It can be relaxed or strained. It can be hot or cold. It can easily fill certain parts of our body and find real difficulty in other parts of the body. I invite you into the throat area. Reminder that we are feeling the muscles or the nervous system as it's activated by the breath. That means we may encounter numbness. We may encounter emotional feeling. And here today, we are attempting to seize the whole experience. That means not changing it, drinking it all in. Some of it may be uncomfortable. Some of it may be intensely pleasurable if we allow ourselves the experience. This is your life right now. Do you want to live it? Allowing our attention now to take in the nose and the nostrils and the throat, a global experience of the whole area. This for me right now is intensely pleasurable to feel the harmony in those parts of the body. You have to be a little bit wider in your attention to feel all of that at once. And it's okay if you can't do that. You just keep bringing your attention back. So we wait for the breath to come in. We also let the breath go out. We aren't holding on to anything. If we hold on to the last moment, we can't experience this moment. The more you practice this, the more you'll start to notice the mind can't do this. It's not fast enough to catch every moment. So you have to let go of the mind and just directly experience, like a flowing river. To experience the flow of time in this way, you have to actually flow with the time. You can't stop and ruminate. What is this sensation? It's gone. What is this sensation? It's gone. What is this sensation? You have to throw yourself into the river, into the flow, and allow, in this case, the breath experience to carry you forward. Turn our attention to the sternum and the rib cage, going all the way around to the spine. This is a big area. The sternum and the heart area, the breast area, carries a lot of emotion for a lot of us. Just be aware of that possibility. And just notice the breath expanding and contracting. Where is it numb for you? Where can you feel it expanding? Can you feel the breath expanding the rib cage out to the side, out to the back, rising and falling? Can you do this without controlling it? Wait for the chest to rise. When will it stop breathing in? You don't know. Maybe it will breathe in until the end of time. If it doesn't, then notice, it's paused, and wait for it to breathe out. Maybe it will breathe out forever. If you're truly in the moment, in a beginner's kind of mind who doesn't know anything about breath, you don't know where that out breath will take you, when it will stop, or when it stops, if it will ever start again. Attention, not intention. Your breath may be uncomfortable today, but unless you get out of the way, it won't find its way to comfort. You have to let it sort of work itself out. If you find a particularly yummy or delicious part of your breath and you want to stay there, that is encouraged. We can now start to globally experience the breath from the nostrils, the sinuses, the back of the mouth, the throat, down over the sternum, around the rib cage to the back of the spine. So we're now noticing the breath in the head, the throat, and the chest. It's like we're one of those anatomy dummies, just the top rib cage and head, spine, skull. And notice again that the breath is a unitary experience. It is unified. The breath coming in the nostrils is tightly related to what's happening in the rib cage. The experience of your third left rib and the experience of your right sinuses are related. And just like listening to a symphony, you don't have to break it down to recognize that relation. You can just, in a gestaltic way, experience the unity of the breathing process, allowing your body to integrate in your awareness. Noticing even if there's a numb part or a painful part or an emotional part, that it is still part of the breathing of the rest of the body. You're welcome to stay with that if you want, or we can move down into the lower part of the torso from the diaphragm, solar plexus region, over the belly, down through the abdomen, all the way down to the pelvic floor, to the perineum, the sacrum, all the way around to the belly button. One big balloon. It's being pressed down by the diaphragm, which you can feel if you're sensitive as you breathe in. The diaphragm pulls the lungs down, presses the belly out. The perineum is like the tied knot of a balloon. The natural breath, the kind of breath you'll watch a baby have, is the belly breathes first, this abdominal breathing. But today we're not in any way trying to control or change our breath. So if we don't naturally abdominal breathe because of years of habit, that's fine. What does the breath feel like in the abdomen as it comes in? Does the abdomen just stay tight and try to hold, or do just certain parts of it stay tight? We're giving it attention without any intentions to change it. Our only intention is to seize the day, that is, to attend to our day, to experience our day, to experience our moment, to experience this moment, to travel the world of our body. You'll notice that the experience down here in the abdomen is like going to Sicily as opposed to the experience in your nostrils, which is like being in London. Not trying to establish any cultural stereotypes there, just the truth is this area is very large and lots of nervous system parts are down here. So it can be explored for a long time before you fully experience everything. We'll just take in what is prominent today. Again, you can sit at the base of your body in the perineum and wait for the breath to begin. Can you feel it when it just starts? Can you feel it when it ends? And let's see now if we can experience the whole of the breath, starting with the nostrils and the sinuses, including the whole head down into the throat, including the whole neck down into the sternum, wrapping around the rib cage, the spine, including the whole upper torso, down into the solar plexus, the diaphragm, down over the belly and into the abdomen, all the way around to the sacrum and the spine, including the whole of our viscera, down into the lower abdomen, to the pelvic floor. We experience it all as one big experience. I tell you an actual fact. This breathing experience is too complex for us to understand, for us to be able to fully take in. Too many things are going on. And yet we can, it is a symphony more complex than any symphony you could possibly imagine in terms of all the things that are going on in our cells and organs. And yet we can get a global experience of its harmony. All of these parts working together as the energy of the breath begins in the pelvic floor, drawing energy up from the ground. The nostrils are already pulling in air. I invite you to include the legs if you can in this experience. Breathing in up through the feet and calves and thighs, all the way up into all the other parts that we've already touched on. Can you sit there and let the whole body wait for the breath to come in? The whole body breathing in without you doing anything. It's doing it entirely on its own. The whole body letting go and breathing out. Hmm. Okay. You're welcome to stay in that experience as long as you wish. If you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back into your space and the room and the meeting we're in, and invite you to move your body. Again, you can sort of wait to feel how your body might want to move. And usually we'll start with discomfort, but over time you'll start to notice more pleasurable movements. You can give yourself a hug. Sitting still is uncomfortable for our body at first. And so we reward it by allowing it to move. Stillness, physical stillness is not better than movement. You remind that we're just doing a practice. You might give your head a hug. You might give your face a hug. Your body a hug. You might wipe all your cares away off your shoulders. Give your legs a little squeeze. And that's our sit for the day.